to you live from Million Dollar Studios. Chris Speez,
a.k.a. the man with the complexion of Elmer's glue.
And the benchmark of professional wrestling, Mr. Silky Baines.
How's it going?
It's going well, sir. Speez of the Benchmark show on a Monday night, July the 22nd, 2019. It's Monday Night Raw Reunion Night, Silky. Glad to have everybody here with us on the program here on Twitch.
Starkiller, what's up?
If you're brand new to the show, hope you'll give us a follow, like our friends Alice in Wonderland, Brainbuster Radio, Shugsy, and Jakenheimer. All you guys have followed the channel since we were last on. Thank you all very much for that. And of course, if you want to pitch into the cause, you can do that by dropping those bits or becoming a subscriber to the channel. All that information is scrolling down below. Or you can leave us tip at the tip jar, tinyurl.com/SB tip jar. Tell them why, Silky.
Because these bills need to get paid.
Indeed, they do. And of course, the phone lines are open. So if you want to get in on the conversation tonight, 832-937-4559 is the number to get in.
That's 832-93-SILKY.
832-93-SILKY. We're going to be talking the Monday Night Raw reunion show. All the good, the bad, the pretty good, and the pretty
Mostly
bad. And all that kind of stuff. So we'll talk about that this evening and whatever else you guys want to talk about.
It's fucking embarrassing.
Where'd you go? Sorry, hit that one more time.
It's fucking embarrassing.
Silky, were you not a fan of the show? Mac Diesel coming through with the bits early on. Thank you very much for that, Mac Diesel. Or Jeff.
Stone Cold. Silky is the one true benchmark.
There you go.
Exactly.
And thank you, Jeffrey Cross, for the bits as well. Appreciate that. The computer woo does not quite
It's not quite the same.
not quite live up to what Mr. Flair does there. So, overall thoughts, Silky Bane. I thought it was a fun show. There were a lot of people bitching on Twitter because it's Twitter and that's what they do. Thank you, Lit Mantis.
Shucky ducky quack quack.
Thank you very much for that, Lit Mantis. A lot of people complaining on Twitter because that's what Twitter does. But you know, I was talking to our buddy Tony from Get the Tables earlier today, and if there's ever a show to not take seriously and just kind of enjoy for the sake of, it's a show like tonight. You know, I mean, it's just going to be a bunch of random guys showing up. It's not going to make a whole lot of sense because they had like 30 people showing up. So, of course, it's all going to be very random and very silly. And there was a little bit as far as, you know, moving some feuds forward and things like that. But from the nostalgia point of view, Silky, did you enjoy the show? Did you think it was kind of lame? What was your overall takeaway? Thank you, Gannicus, for the host, by the way.
Hot trash. It was.
Hot
The
trash?
show was hot trash.
Are you serious?
I mean, the only good segment I liked was the Samoa Joe Roman Reigns segment. That was the only pretty much good segment. The Seth Rollins one was all right. I mean, when there was so many of them, like, then it became like...
Thank you, Juanito. 4 months subscribing there, Juanito. Appreciate that, sir.
Like, it became a little too much. Like, if he would have just stopped with the DX when it was all even and stuff, or even just brought out Road Dogg and X-Pac, then
There were far too many DX guys there.
it was a whole lot. It was
DX
a whole
overkill.
lot.
Shout out to all you guys joining us here. Amber Goff's here. Mr. AEW, Truth and Loyalty. Thank you guys all for being here. Lid Mantis would call in, but Trish the Dish is asleep and doesn't need his ass whooped. This is the second Trish the Dish reference I've had in the last 24 hours. Little Mallrats for those of you who don't watch. Yeah. You watch Mallrats, Silky?
Of course.
I didn't know if that qualified as a
I love Kevin Smith
white movie.
It is a white movie, but I enjoy it. I mean, I love all Kevin Smith movies. Stink Palm, come on.
All right, well, you got that. Brooke, good to see you. Why not have all the DX out there? Yeah, there's no Billy Gunn because he's working with AEW now, so he's not going to be there. Wasn't expecting much, so I just enjoyed the show, says Jeffrey Cross. Yeah.
I mean, that is true, but it was just too... I think what took me out was the fucking... all those 24/7 bullshit.
That seems to be the thing that...
That was... Like, if you took that out of there, it was not a bad show, but it was just so much of it from, like... showing him losing the title, Drake Maverick Strike set him up, to like fucking Pat Patterson and fucking Kelly and Candice Michelle, and then the Lunger Blaze, and I was like, who the fuck is this? Because she looked just horrible.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, damn, Nicole Bass came back to life and choked this bitch out.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, she looked horrible. And then the whole trash can and $1 Million Man, and you should have posted that or put that on.
Yeah,
That
Silky took a
text.
shot of he took a close-up picture of the cameraman who had zoomed in on the stack of cash that the $1 Million Man had, and it
you-
was clearly just a bunch of white pieces of paper mixed in with a couple of bills.
Yeah, I was like,
was kinda
damn, the $1
disappointing.
Million Man out this bitch counterfeiting. Childhood ruined.
Yeah, so
It was
anyway,
just that part was just so bad. I mean, I like the commentators on the rotating out the commentators and stuff. I liked all of that. I think honestly why I thought the show was trash was it was so much of that 24/7 bullshit.
that's fair. That's fair. Hello, Alice in Wonderland. I wonder if that is Alice, our old friend Alice, who now has a new handle. It probably is. So, Star Killer, thank you very much for the bits, sir. We appreciate that. Brooke didn't recognize that was a Lunder Blaze, and I don't think Jody Mania did either.
Yeah, no one did because, I mean, holy cow.
Well, the show got off to a great start, I thought. Let's just break it down segment by segment. We'll talk about the appearances and what we liked and what we didn't like. And you feel free to chime in on the chat or give us a call as well, 832-937-4559. What's up, Bounty Hunter? Good to see you, sir. No one had no idea who the fuck Medusa was.
Yeah,
Says get the tables.
I really did.
Yeah.
Babaruski was
I
like,
love you. I always have.
Thank you
and I
very much,
always
Get the
will.
Tables, for gifting the
There,
sub
I
to our
said
good
it.
friend Brooke. Appreciate that, good sir.
but I think that Babaruski had put that he didn't recognize Caitlyn, which I did because goddamn. And
Get the Tables, big mania tonight. You guys are coming strong with the bits here on the anniversary Raw show. We appreciate that. Or the reunion show, I should say.
And Bad Bitch Alert was on, so I like that.
Silky, of course, enjoyed that.
I did.
Yeah, so the show kicked off with John Cena, and I'm not going to lie, I got a huge smile on my face when John Cena came back out again. I have missed John Cena. I've missed John Cena. It's nice when John Cena's music hits.
Kill yourself.
Stop it. And everybody starts singing John Cena sucks, and it's enjoyable. I enjoyed having John Cena back again. It was quite nice. And then out come the Usos. Of course, they, get the ring, start having their back and forth with John Cena, basically taunting him into bringing back the Doctor of Thugonomics, who kicked an amazing rhyme about the Usos getting arrested
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
and their mugshots, and it was absolutely brilliant. That was great. And I thought the way that they...
Wow. I just wanted to know that those were some of the whitest words ever strung together.
What the
When
hell are you talking
said,
about?
Kicked an amazing rhyme.
There's nothing
That
wrong
was-
with the phrase. If you said kicked an amazing rhyme, nobody would blink an eye.
That was like.
What am I
literally the
supposed
white-
to say, Silky? Why don't you school me on how to be a more effective white guy? Because
Well, I
you
mean-
know all about being an effective white guy, apparently. What
Well, no,
should I have
I'm
said
just saying, you
with
did
regard
great.
to John Cena's... You said it was the whitest thing.
I mean, because you were trying to sound hip,
I was
but
not trying to sound it.
have you ever in your fucking life said kicked an amazing rhyme?
Probably so.
Probably not.
Probably so.
Probably not.
I got street cred like that. Silky didn't want it. Silky's not going to give me any credit for it. I don't have Silky cred. I got street cred. I got street
You
cred
don't
coming
have
out my
street
ass.
cred.
Talking out of your ass.
Bitch, we
what
live
you're
in the
doing right
same
now.
area. There's nothing gangster about where we live right now. I moved out.
Thanks very much, Alice. I like my Austin shirt too. Thank you very much. That was pretty white, says Gannicus. Thanks again, buddy. Appreciate
Thank you.
that. Good looking out.
Just say spitting bars. He had some bars.
I'm not going to say spitting bars. That sounds
You could've-
whiter.
You
than-
could have just said he had some bars. You could have. I'm just saying.
Is that what the kids are saying nowadays? Had some bars? Is that what it is?
Samoa Joe did say limericks. That was pretty.
That
funny.
was pretty good.
That was slightly less white than what you said.
Brian says, I almost downed a bottle of mini thins during the Cena skit.
Have a good show, fellas, and yeah, that was pretty white. Speez, sorry.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. Get the tables. Thank you. Who cares? It's wrestling, says Amber Goff. I say bust a rhyme, says Jody Mania, so fine. How about that? Anyway, thank you very much again, Star Killer, for the bits. We appreciate that.
So back after your white statement. Go
And
ahead.
out comes Rikishi, and we think we're going to get a dance segment. Who interrupts the party but the Heat Magnets themselves, the best damn tag team walking the planet right now, the Revival, who come out, don't fucking touch anything. Let me enjoy the moment.
Okay,
The
I'll let
Revival
you
come
win.
out and do their thing because they're fantastic.
Which their thing happens to be losing.
And who are they coming out with? None other than Devon Dudley, which it was very nice seeing the Reverend there again. And we get ourselves a match. The Usos versus the Revival with Rikishi in the Usos corner and Devon Dudley in the Revival corner.
What did I text you?
I thought it was great, before we
Was it
get to your text, I thought it was great how they incorporated Rikishi and Devon into the match. Having those guys in the corner of the various tag teams. I thought that was very cool. And early on in the show, I thought the way that they incorporated the older guys was fantastic. What did you text me?
About the what they were about to do. I was like, we're about to eat this L.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
They put a little salt on that one to make that L more palatable.
They didn't get embarrassed quite as badly as they did at the 25th anniversary Raw show.
It could have been worse. But
What was up with Rikishi coming out to Scotty 2 Hotties music, says Buckeye Eagle. Just a nod to him. Rikishi we saw him at a show down here in Texas, and he was
he was using it.
Giving
that
shouts
kind
out
of
to
was
Scotty
like
2 Hotty.
that music's transcended Scotty Too Hotty and became like Too Cool. And since Rikishi was part of Too Cool, he started using it.
Exactly. I felt so let down. I wanted you to comment on Scott Dawson getting stink face. Well, there were quite a few vintage old school moves that we didn't get tonight that we're going to get to later on in the show here. So yeah, that was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, no stink face, no stunner. I waited fucking hours.
I know. We're going to get to
fucking
that.
Stone Cold, and not one motherfucker got stunned.
Anyway,
I was very upset about that.
Absolutely superb match. The Revival making the Usos look fantastic. Not that the Usos need a lot of help, but let's face it. The
it's
Revival
the other
make them
way.
look fucking fantastic.
Other way around, the Usos
Stop
made
it.
the Revival
Stop it. The Revival
look like
made
a
them look
respectable
great.
tag team.
They looked great.
They looked
Both
like a
teams
respectable
looked
tag
great,
team.
and it was awesome. Bubba Ray was too busy kidnapping fans and demanding them to respect women, says Lit Mantis.
I heard. Did you hear about that shit?
Yes, I did hear about that.
That was funny.
That was very good. That was very good. But anyway, Usos get a nice win over the Revival.
As always.
It was very well done. We go backstage to Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart. Hogan's talking about he's excited to be here and so on and so forth. Okay, I thought you were coming with something. I was giving you a chance there. So then we go backstage to Alicia Fox, which I don't understand why she's achieved legend status.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because is she still employed by WWE?
Yeah, I would assume.
So I'm not quite sure why she would
Be
legend
I don't
status.
think she was actually considered a legend in that
It's
segment.
just she was coming back to the show, so that's why I put her on here. Okay.
Yeah, that was like, we ain't got shit for you. Go over there. Talk to this chick over here.
She's talking to your girl Dana Brooke.
Bad bitch alert. We need one of those.
Black
numbers.
Man's Dynamite. Yeah,
Black Man's Kryptonite.
Kryptonite. Damn it! I keep saying that, man. I don't know why I'm doing that. And talking to Caitlyn as well.
Yes. H-Town.
Who still looks very nice.
Yes. Yes, she does.
And up comes Santino Morello, and he busts out his little hand puppet, nonsense.
Cobra.
And the Cobra. And here comes Drew McIntyre. And I thought this was really funny. And I saw people complaining about it on Twitter. Again, it's just Twitter. People are going to complain. But I just loved Drew McIntyre walking in there and basically giving them this look like, you fucking clowns, get out of here. And Santino's kind of cowering. I thought that was great. I enjoyed that. Lit Mantis says, how is Alicia Fox not a legend? She's been on their payroll for like 8 years. That's legend status, in my opinion. Damn. And Amber Goff says she's a raving lunatic.
Yeah.
She kind of is.
Both are kind of correct.
Yes. All right. So then we got our very first title change, the 24/7 championship. This is going to be a fairly long conversation because there were an obscene amount of 24/7 title change. Was the final count 9 or 8?
I think 9.
Okay, because it was 8 when they said it, and then we had one more title change before it was all said and done.
Correct.
All right, so let's just go through the title changes here. So first of all, we had Drake Maverick defeat R-Truth to win the 24/7 title.
What the fuck?
All right, so Drake Maverick, again, this has been going on forever, and he's very excited, obviously, because he finally gets to consummate his marriage. And can we just talk about how absolutely stunning Drake Maverick's wife is?
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful.
She is hot.
So Drake Maverick is back in the dressing room a few segments later, and the lights go out, and out comes the boogeyman. Actually, I think Drake Maverick opened his bag or something.
Yeah,
There's
and the
worms
worms
and
in
all
it.
that kind of stuff in there. So he starts freaking out. The lights go red. Here comes the boogeyman. Drake Maverick trips over his bag, falls on his back, and here comes Pat Patterson,
What the fuck?
who just lays a fucking foot on Drake Maverick's chest and pins Drake Maverick, and Pat Patterson becomes your new 24/7 champion.
It's fucking embarrassing.
Okay, now, a few segments later, Pat Patterson is, I guess Pat Patterson is not in good enough physical condition to actually take a pinfall because he's just laying there looking
Magically
like,
old.
he's just like he fell down drunk or something. And there's Gerald Briscoe now holding the 24/7 champion. Gerald Briscoe is your new 24/7 champion.
Fuck this shit.
Okay. So, Gerald Briscoe is now walking away with the title, and he's met by Kelly Kelly. Kelly still looks like she's like 30 years old.
Yes.
It's completely ridiculous how stunning Kelly still looks. And she's kind of buttering up, Gerald Briscoe, blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, she rolls him up. Kelly.
I know. I think what happened is she gave him a kiss on the cheek, and he kind of,
She low blowed him. That's right.
yeah, something like that. I
Yeah.
don't see what
She went with the low blow. That's right.
and then he went down.
And Kelly gets the pin. Kelly is your new 24/7 champion.
No.
So if you're keeping score now, we've had R-Truth come in as the champion. He loses it to Drake Maverick, who loses it to Pat Patterson, who loses it to Gerald Briscoe, who has now lost it to Kelly. Thank you very much, Star Killer, for the bit there, just so you can use the TTS, apparently,
How is Drake Maverick even a superstar at this point?
because he's brilliant in the 24/7 picture. That's pretty much what it comes down to. All right. So now, Kelly walking around, and she's celebrating her win, it says here, when she met up with Candice Michelle, Melina, and Naomi, right? Melina strips off the top, which sounds a lot more exciting than it is, because it turns out she's wearing referee gear, and Candice Michelle attacks Kelly to win the 24/7 championship.
Hey, what's my?
Because you're on the wrong one, dude. There you go. Okay, yeah, there you go. So now, Candice Michelle is your 24/7 champion. And this is, here's where it got completely insane. Up comes Alundra Blaze, or Medusa, if you watched her in WCW. And
I thought the
Wait,
Undertaker's skin looked like beef jerky.
stop it. You can't do that to Alundra Blaze. Stop it. So, again, Alundra Blaze kind of getting up there, I think. And Candice Michelle apparently, for whatever reason, Alundra Blaze did not pin Candice Michelle. She put her in this ridiculous-looking chokehold. And that chokehold caused Candice Michelle to tap out. And now, that's right, Alundra Blaze, who was, in what, WrestleMania 1?
Probably no.
No, that was Wendy Richter, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
She was before that even.
No, she was not.
She was after that?
She was way after that.
Ah, shit. Never mind. Don't listen to me. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm talking about Alundra Blaze being your 24/7 champion.
It's a goddamn abortion and a disgrace.
Oh, it's been completely insane up to this point. Now, let's get caught up on the comments here just to see. R-Truth diving into that limo made me laugh out loud. I spit beer out of my mouth. The Stooges returning was easily the best part of Ross's Buckeye Eagle. And Brian, Texas Legend fan Brian, actually said this on Twitter. He really thought Pat Patterson was dead.
Okay, how is this being televised?
Stop it, Star Killer. We're going through it all right now. Kelly always goes for the nuts, says Buckeye Eagle. Melina should have taken it, says Brooke. Where in the hell was Victoria? She gets no love from WWE, says Bob Aruski. No Cameron tonight, says Lit Mantis. Carmella been in this 24/7 mess since day one, says Raven's Blood. But Kelly, Candice Michelle, and Alundra Blaze are the first women to win the title? Shit. Yeah, Medusa can go away like forever. If only ex-tag team champion of the world, Nicholas, would have been invited, he would have become the 24/7 champion.
But it was a school night.
Yes, it was. And Raven's Blood thought Alundra Blaze was Ivory in that outfit. Yeah, my son thought it was Ivory too.
Oh, no. Ivory looks a lot better.
Well, that's what I said. I was like, there's no way that's Ivory.
Yeah.
He's like, no, look at that outfit.
She looked like the Crypt Keeper.
Kyle King says, where was CM Punk? So we got to finish this 24/7 bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saw this, Silky, where she brings out the trash can.
Yes.
Alundra Blaze, those of you who don't know, of course, Medusa in WCW, took the WWF Women's Championship and dropped it in a trash can on Nitro. So she brings out a trash can and is about to drop the 24/7 championship into the trash can when out comes the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, who proceeds to purchase, not win, but purchase the 24/7 championship. Ted DiBiase now your new 24/7 champion. So you're upset about this one as well, apparently. All right. So once this is over with, we cut to a limousine back in the arena. There's some clunking around there, and we hear an off-camera. And who pops out of the back of the limo but Drake Maverick? That means Drake Maverick, once again, your 24/7 champion.
Kill yourself.
Stop it. But that's not quite it. We had one more title change. And yes, if you're losing track, it was completely insane. Drake is kissing his wife. Oh, it's great. We're going to consummate the marriage. I got the belt. Let's go. Here comes R-Truth one more time. Rolls him up, pins him. R-Truth, your new 24/7 champion. And to escape the situation here. Now, we'll hit the sounder after this. Drake Maverick's wife is in the back of the limousine waiting to go and have sex with Drake Maverick. Instead, Drake Maverick gets rolled up. R-Truth dives into the back of the end zone.
End
The
zone?
end zone. In the back of the
I'm sure
limo.
he will be tonight. Oh, shit. My headphones came off.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's funny.
R-Truth dives into the back of the limo. The door slams shut, and he speeds away with Drake Maverick's wife while Drake Maverick is left behind with Carmella.
You got to make the announcement. R-Truth is.
Oh, I said it earlier. R-Truth, once again, your 24/7 champion.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
That's it. Now, I thought R-Truth speeding away with Drake Maverick's wife in the back of the limousine was pretty classic. That's pretty good. Because you know there's going to be some great stuff coming from that. You know Drake Maverick's going to have
she
some
thinks.
video. Stop it. Drake Maverick's going to have some video up on Twitter trying to find his wife who has escaped with R-Truth.
You know what they say, once you go black.
Stop it.
And you can't get much blacker than R-Truth.
Again, you're allowed to say these things along with one of the eases,
Yes.
and yet everything I say is racist.
Pretty much.
Oh, goodness. Isn't that kidnapping, says Bob Risky? I'm pretty sure that it is. Thank you, Peck and Rod, for the host, and all you guys for dropping those bits. Again, if you're new to the program, make sure to give the channel a follow here. And look, if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you get a free Twitch subscription along with Amazon Prime. Why not subscribe to your boys here? Make it happen. Otherwise, there it is scrolling right below there. You can subscribe for as little as $4.99 a month. It helps us out. Helps us get some new stuff for Wrestle Trivia. I got a whole bunch of stuff coming in.
Yep.
It'd be great.
It
I got
really
to see
would.
my favorite legends all time, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Kevin Nash, says Alice. Excellent. So that's your 24/7 championship. Silky, was this the low light of the show as far as you're concerned?
Yes. Yes, it was. I mean, it was. Did you not hear my
You didn't just have
diatribe?
fun with it. You didn't just,
No. It
wasn't just a good time.
It was
seeing,
complete shite. It was bad.
it wasn't complete shite.
It was complete and utter bullshit. Like hot garbage. Like dumpster fire garbage.
Ted says, amen, can I get a kill yourself? Or are we taking
Kill yourself.
requests here? Is that what we're doing now? Truth and Loyalty says as long as she doesn't get passed to the homies, she'll be fine.
Hey, you know what they say about that.
Stop it. All right, let's get back to the actual program. We talked about the Usos and the Revival, their fantastic match to kick off Raw. Next match that we had was Drew McIntyre. Well, I say it was a match. It was supposed to be Drew McIntyre taking on Cedric Alexander. And this, to me, was exactly the way you book a guy who's supposed to be a top star against a mid-card guy. He just came out there and kicked the shit out of Cedric Alexander to the point to where they didn't even have a match and just left Cedric Alexander for dead out there at the ring.
Kill yourself. That's for Kyle King.
That could be worse than your power rankings last week. Can we talk about Seth Rollins bombing so badly that Heyman had to cut? We'll get to that, Lit Mantis. We definitely will. I was hoping for a Stone Cold and Becky Lynch face-to-face segment, the real deal versus the imitation. Yeah, but Stone Cold probably just would have done something to try to put her over. Thank you again, Starkiller, for the bits. Appreciate that. Thank you for swinging and Get the Tables. Catch Get the Tables tomorrow night following SmackDown Live here on Twitch. Good friends of ours, big supporters of the show. Make sure to give their channel a follow as well. What's up with Drew McIntyre? Where are we going with Drew McIntyre? What's next for Drew McIntyre? Drew McIntyre was supposed to be in the title picture. He's supposed to be the guy.
I thought he was. Apparently he's not.
And now he's...
This is like the more things change, the more they stay the same. Like when he first came in, remember, McMahon came in, had him out there and was like, he is going to be a future world champion. And 15 fucking years later, he is still not a world champion with the company. I mean, I guess he's kind of right because, with the TNA thing, but I don't really consider them like a legitimate world title because, it's TNA.
Not going to give Impact any love still, Silky?
I mean, I've been at shows, like indie shows where the title was defended. When's the last time you seen Kofi Kingston come down to an indie show and defend the title? So, no. Not that I'm not giving, but they're just not, it's not a real world title. So, 15 years and he's still not a fucking world champ. Or 10 years, whatever.
Drew is in WWE limbo, says Jody Mania. Lit Mantis says McIntyre wasn't the guy in 2009. He ain't the guy in 2019. They still don't get it. We shall see. We got a phone caller on the line. Let's get to the phone lines. 95 Bells Rock. Hello. This sounds like Sasha Reigns.
McIntyre.
Oh, sorry. It's Melomac. How are you?
Good. I went to Raw.
You went to Raw?
Yes.
Well, outstanding. Tell us all about it. What was the highlight of the evening as far as you were concerned?
When Roman Reigns time.
Oh, when Roman Reigns, of course, Roman Reigns came out. Who do you think got the best reaction of the folks that were coming back? It looked like on TV it was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Anybody else that you were surprised at how good the reaction was?
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Pretty much figured that it would be Stone Cold.
Steve Austin. I was shocked to see him.
Very cool. Anybody else that that stuck out to you as far as the crowd being super psyched to see them?
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
All right, then. Fair enough. Fair enough. And your boy Seth Rollins, you think he held his own tonight? Or, what do you think?
I'm thinking that he's going to win it at SummerSlam.
All right. Well, we shall see what happens. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the show, Melomac. Lucky you for getting to see all those people there. So thank you for calling into the program again. We always appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, Melomac with us here on the Speez and the Benchmark Show. You can get in on the phone lines as well, 832-937-4559. Street Profits were awesome tonight, says Kyle King. He got that in before Get the Tables left. But, yeah, we'll talk about them in a little bit as well. Viking Raiders taking on the Edgeheads. Sort of. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins with Christian on commentary, no less.
Yeah.
And pretty much another squash match for the Viking Raiders. And, I don't really know what else to say about these guys.
We know they can beat up people. Like, now it's time to give them a little bit more. Let someone test them a little, but still, at the end, dominate them. You know, that's how you build up a team like that. Is, you know, we've seen them squash people left and right.
Yes.
So now we need to be putting teams like, you know, like we'll just say the Street Profits in with them. Let the Street Profits not get close to a win, but actually make them feel some shit. Like put the pressure on them to where they turn it up to another gear and then boom, take them out. Then another team. It's like each team is progressing. They're taking them closer and closer until you finally get to that team that's figured out the Rubik's Cube that is the Viking Raiders and can defeat them.
Yes, I totally agree. Totally agree. Ravens Blood says Hawkins and Ryder go back to catering where they belong. Ow.
Damn.
Ouch.
But it's funny. I like the line Christian was like, well, they're edge heads. If they were Christian heads, they might have done better.
Exactly. So we go backstage to the little backstage party going on. We see some of the old timers hanging around. And there's Mike Kanellis. And you know where there's Mike Kanellis, there's going to be some Maria Kanellis. And this angle continues to be extremely awkward, especially if you happen to be married. Because, holy shit. Maria Kanellis comes and starts just totally, degrading Mike as usual. And it turns out that Mike Kanellis is talking to none other than Eve Torres, who, wow.
Yes.
Eve Torres still looks amazing as well. And Maria's getting pissy. You're supposed to be rubbing lotion on my belly. Otherwise, I'm going to get stretch marks. And if I get stretch marks, what's going to happen to my modeling career? I'm the breadwinner in this family. You're doing a whole lot of nothing. You need to be rubbing lotion on my belly. And here comes Eric Bischoff, who says that maybe Mike and Maria might be happier over on SmackDown Live. I thought that was pretty clever. I thought that was cool to see. Have we heard anything about whether or not there's going to be... Are Bischoff, because I'm under the impression that Bischoff and Heyman are going to be pretty much behind the scenes guys.
Yes.
That they're not going to be trying to.
This is just I think a one-off deal because of the fact that it was Raw reunion. Just because I was actually listening to 83 Weeks and he was talking about being excited to be there at TV for Raw, but his first official SmackDown I guess is tomorrow.
Right on. Right on. Rebecca Smith back with us. Good to see you, Miss Rebecca. Make sure to give our channel a follow while you're here. We always appreciate seeing you. She was with us on the YouTube days and has made her way back. Felt sorry for all those legends to be involved on camera for that segment. Yeah, it was, yeesh. And then we got our Ron Simmons, damn.
Yeah. Damn.
Into the megaphone. Oh, yeah. Silky's even got the megaphone here. See.
Damn.
Oh, man. God, you got to give me a heads up on that, man.
Heads up.
Damn. All right, there we go. So.
Kill yourself.
Why is my megaphone over there? See, that was going to be one of my gimmicks on the show, and I couldn't do it. Rebecca Smith says it was a big mess. I'm with you, Kyle. I think the Canella segments are great. I'm interested to see where it goes.
I'm interested to see where it goes. I reserve my judgment on how good this is when I see what the payoff for this is.
I'm enjoying it while it lasts. Now, if it turns out to be a lame payoff, oh well. But for the time being, it works.
I'm not really, I'm just trying to focus on where could this, it's probably going to end with Kanellis as the Cruiserweight champ. Because, obviously he's nowhere near the ilk to be like a U.S. or a fucking Intercontinental champion. So the only way this pays off and how he breaks this and finally gets the respect of his wife is to take the Cruiserweight title.
Fair enough.
So I feel like this is the long haul because right now with Gulak as champ, you would need to get that champ on some kind of face, and then switch it to Kanellis.
And as Raven's Blood said, Kanellis has to snap out of it eventually, which he will. They really have 3 different cuckold storylines all going on in the same show. Okay, we got Maria and Mike, and I'm assuming, of course, Lit Mantis would be talking about Seth and Becky.
Yeah, and then
I guess Drake and his wife as well. So yeah, it is getting a little silly.
Oh, Maria and Mike, Drake in the 24/7.
Oh, right, got you there. Great crowd here tonight. Thank you guys for being with us. Again, we're here every Monday night after Raw, every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central. 10 o'clock for those of you on the East Coast. Right here on Twitch.
Speaking of Becky, did you see that tweet that Edge posted?
I did not.
Oh, it's pretty funny. I guess he's just she was taking some shots at like Edge and I guess his past with Lita and whatnot.
This was a while ago, was it not?
Well, I just saw it today.
Oh, okay.
And so I saw where he had commented back about Seth. So it had to be recent because she wasn't dating Seth back. And comment Seth about, speaking of past, tell your man not to use his camera or send pictures. It didn't work out well for him the last time.
Thank you, Star Killer, for the bits.
I was like, damn.
Tex Ferguson. Good to have you here, Tex Ferguson. I'm disappointed. I didn't realize Joe was booked with Kofi for Mania when the Joe and Roman story, with Joe going after the family, makes stuff interesting because he may be the only Samoan in wrestling not related to The Rock.
That is true.
Samoa Joe came out top of the second hour. And, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you here. I was just going to say, Samoa Joe,
fucking star.
I mean, god damn it, man.
That
Every time.
That promo was amazing.
Amazing.
And then when Roman came out, I mean, just from the interaction with him and Roman about, we from the same place, so you know what's about to happen. Yeah, I know what's about to happen. Just, I could see that like almost in like an action movie playing out. Like, it was just fucking amazing to watch.
Absolutely great. And Rebecca Smith said it's the highlight of the night. I thought it was
the only thing
outstanding.
Only thing about that was the finish was kind of fell flat.
It did. But look, how awesome is Joe that we all know he's going to fucking lose.
But we still love it.
And we still love it. We still eat it up. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't know of many people who look at Samoa Joe and
that fat bastard, you call him Sloppy Joe.
Sorry, I forgot to get that in before now, but I don't know of people who look at Samoa Joe and go, that guy sucks. I don't really care for that guy.
Yeah,
I mean there's guys like, a guy like a Rusev will come along or a Cesaro will come along and, people get on board with those guys. But as far as being almost universally recognized as being so great, and he just never wins shit.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Yeah, I don't understand it, but, I mean, it's just a testament. He doesn't have to win, I guess. I mean, he really doesn't have to win to stay over just because his promos and, like, how he can make anything, even a one-off, seem personal. Like, this is not a big feud. This is not going to lead to any match on SummerSlam. But he made it seem personal when he was like, you're going to talk about my family. Lisa, and he was like, I've talked about your family. Got right up in his face.
Oh, so
good. Where I come from, that's a sign of disrespect.
And
you think someone's a bitch.
Him.
Yeah.
You believe every word that Joe is saying.
Yeah. And so
the lovely and talented Miss Jennifer was watching the show because she was waiting for Stone Cold to come out. And she's like, this guy's mean. Like, she does not watch a lot of wrestling, for those of you that know. So, yeah, she was, I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
She was freaked out by it. And he's that great. Thank you for the follow, Tex Ferguson. Appreciate that. Lit Mantis says Edge is stealing his Seth Rollins dick joke gimmick. And Kyle King says, nice to see Raw legend Roman Reigns make the reunion tonight. If Samoa Joe beat as many people in the ring, says Raven's Blood, as he did with his promos, Joe would have all the titles. Totally agree.
That is true.
Totally agree. It's sad, says Bob Maruski, I stopped paying attention to Joe's promos because it just ends up doing nothing in matches. I still listen to his promos because he's so good. He's so good. Yes, Kofi will issue the SummerSlam challenge tomorrow night on SmackDown Live. Samoa Joe, the most convincing surly bastard. I'm with you. Hello, my Oreo. Trillaba dude in the house. Good to see you. My Oreo. I think because we're black and white. I think that's what he was going for there.
But there needs to be another black because, Oreo's two blacks and a white.
Maybe because we're both wearing black and white today. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe.
Anyway, we digress.
This could go very bad. So,
it could.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns gets the win over Samoa Joe. No surprise there. Seth Rollins on Miz TV. Seth Rollins doesn't get me fired up like he gets some people fired up. I respect the shit out of Seth Rollins as an in-ring wrestler. He's absolutely fantastic in the ring. There's nothing wrong necessarily with his promos, but I just don't get, like, I don't pull for that guy like a lot of fans do. Is that a me thing? Are you a Seth Rollins guy? Do you get behind him? Do you buy his promos when he's out there getting all fired up and everything?
No, I don't. But, I mean, Seth Rollins is one of those guys you watch because you know that in big match situations, the shit's going to be amazing.
It's going to be a good match.
Yeah, he's going to put on a hell, unless it's with Lesnar, and he'll still make that fucking match watchable. But, I mean, it's not like classic. It won't be a classic like him and Ziggler, you know, things like that. So that's why I watch Seth Rollins. Like, no, I don't believe the only promo I believed of him was the one leading into WrestleMania about what he would do and how he would go through hell and how he would, you know, basically I'll kill myself to take you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, even if I have to hurt myself, I'm going to win. So, I mean, that promo was like, that particular promo, I was like, you know what? I feel that, like, because it's something that you can relate to. You know, everyone's had that moment of, you know, wanting something so bad that it doesn't matter the cost to you.
Yeah, it's nothing you wouldn't do to get it. Yeah, exactly. Trillman Dude says Seth is boring. Lit Mantis says Rollins bombed. Not a super fan of Rollins, says
I didn't think he
Rebecca
bombed
Smith.
that bad. I mean, I thought Heyman, of course, was amazing until the end. That was like a, you know, wet fart. Like, like him running off and then nothing, absolutely nothing happening.
Yeah, I don't buy Seth Rollins. I don't buy his promos. I don't know why. And there's one promo thing I wanted to point out, and we'll get to it at the end here. Just something I noticed when Stone Cold was talking at the end. And not, I mean, obviously he's a great promo, but we'll get to that. I hate the Raw champion promos too. Always feel scripted, says Kyle King. Gattaca says what everybody says. Give us heel Rollins back. I could listen to heel Rollins promos all the time because he was absolutely great. Brock Lesnar is not trying to be like Seth Rollins, says Alice, and Mantis pointed that out as well. Tex says, I used to be a Seth Rollins guy, but they're just placating the romance story with Becky, and he's secondary. Becky, to be honest, has gotten tired since her post-Mania run, and Seth is now lumped in it. I agree. I feel like he's self-destructing himself in every way, says Bob Ruski. Damn. Yeah, a lot of people not feeling Seth Rollins these days. Seth is as mid as it comes right now, says Lynn Mantis. Seth is like CM Punk, a mid-carder with a loud mouth, says Truth and Loyalty. My goodness.
Damn.
All right, then.
I like the Babaruski chant about, or comment about Seth Rollins talking about Dean Ambrose taking food off his table. It's like, fucker, you make like $3 to $4 million. You got plenty of food.
Yeah, and let's talk about that. Raven's Blood brings it up. So there was an interview earlier where Seth Rollins mentioned about how he was very surprised about Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley leaving for AEW, saying that now he's competition and he's threatening to take food off his table, and that WWE will crush AEW like they do all the other competition. And a lot of people got butthurt by this. A lot of people got very pissy about this. Seth Rollins shouldn't be saying these kinds of things. Seth Rollins has a grudge. What's he still hung up on Moxley for? So on and so forth. I don't know what you expect Seth Rollins to say. Yeah. To me, I mean, what else would he say? It didn't bother me too much. And people got worked up about taking the food off the table. It's wrestling. It's a wrestling promo. Now, I didn't take that as a shoot promo by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. That was a work promo, so he's gonna say shit like that. I don't take it too seriously. If any WWE is unhappy about pay, Vince is money throwing hungry, so why not ask for a raise? That's true. That's true. That interview was orchestrated by WWE, and he was being a good little word. Thank you, Rebecca Smith. That's what it says. Rollins really can't go one whole week without publicly saying something dumb that makes you want to not root for him, says Lynn Mantis. That's
not entirely untrue.
It's not. And somebody else said it online. You didn't see shit like this happen when Roman Reigns was the face of the company.
Exactly.
He didn't put his foot in his mouth like that And it seems like Seth's rubbing people the wrong way. So, at least some people. I don't know. All right, we had Sami Zayn backstage throwing some shade at all the legends back there. And Rey Mysterio shows up to say, you need to knock that shit off and learn some respect. And, of course, they set up a match for later. We get to the Seth Rollins and AJ Styles match. And this is where everything just went overbooked and crazy. Yeah. AJ and Seth, at one point, Gallows and Anderson, who are now known as the OC, Silky Baines.
Yeah, I saw that.
What do you think of the OC?
Do we have a sounder that encapsulates how much I fucking hate that?
The OC, isn't that a shitty WB show?
Yes, it was.
It was.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the OC.
It's a goddamn abortion and a disgrace.
Hey, those shirts look badass.
No, the shirts were.
I like the shirts. But the OC?
The shorts were fry. But the OC, like, I mean,
I wasn't really feeling the OC.
whole, they're taking shots at New Japan and all that, like saying that they're the only club that matters, the original club or whatever the fuck. It was stupid. It's a TV show with Misha fucking Barton. Someone should do the goddamn research. I mean, do not name it that show.
Raven's Blood says, I'm waiting for Tama Tonga to set a blowtorch to this OC. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. So anyway, at some point, Luke Gallows, or was it Carl Anderson? No, it was Luke Gallows. Grabs Seth's foot, trips him. They jump in, start beating on Seth. And here comes every fucking guy who's ever been in DX in his entire life, except for Billy Gunn. You had Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Road Dogg, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. Who else was it? X-Pac.
X-Pac.
Am I forgetting anybody? I mean,
well, the only other two were dead, so
all those guys coming out there, and it was just insane.
Yeah.
Then we got to suck it and blah blah blah, and
the too sweet.
A lot of too sweeting, which is way more too sweeting. Stop it! Don't stop it. You got the two. Stop it! The two crews that do that shit. You put them in the ring together. It was ridiculous. Scott Hall seems to have shrunk, says Tex. And they even shouted out China, which was very nice.
Yes.
I thought it was very nice. So DQ, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles didn't really mean anything. We get Mick Foley in the ring. And for the second week in a row, we see The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, attacking someone in the ring. With that creepy lighting, he gives Foley the mandible claw, which I don't imagine Foley's in much condition to sell the Sister Abigail. So the mandible claw thing I thought was great. I thought it worked perfectly. Another badass appearance for Bray Wyatt. Would you agree?
Yes.
Is he the best thing going in the company right now?
Well, I wouldn't say the best thing. I think Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe's very good.
But it's on the cusp of being the best thing going. And like I said, see, I like how this kind of goes back to what I was saying is like, I think we might have been jumping the gun thinking like fantasy booking this Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor
thing.
It's like, okay, maybe he comes back and just attacks random people, just randomly. So I saw this one meme though that was funny in regards to this. It's like, Bray Wyatt and from the Firefly Funhouse, and it's like him going like this, and it's like, I can't get buried if I'm not wrestling on TV.
Foley putting guys over. Fuck yeah, says Bob Baruski. Of all things tonight, says Tex, Foley was the best part of the show. An old timer putting a kid over, and what tonight should have been. Couldn't agree more.
Yes.
And
that was the one thing when we were watching in, you were mentioning about like how it was kind of lame that like all these they saved all the old guys for the end segment. They didn't do anything with the younger talent.
Foley was about the only guy.
Yeah.
Because DX got over on the club or the OC, I should say. But, yeah, Bray Wyatt looking fantastic. Let Bray Wyatt just terrorize the entire roster on both shows. Couldn't agree more. Absolutely, that's what we were saying last week. Be absolutely great. Yeah, Boogeyman was great as well. We get a moment of bliss with Becky Lynch on there. Natalya comes right out immediately. I felt like, tell me if you agree, you guys in the chat as well, I felt like the crowd couldn't give a shit about this pull-apart brawl between Becky Lynch and Natalya. Now, is that just me? Is that just my bias to not really caring about this match? Or
No, I mean, you're pretty much on point with that.
It just didn't seem like anybody was into it at all.
I mean, it was because we know how this plays out. You know what I mean? They, like with Lacey Evans, even though Becky still went over, there was legitimate thought of like, oh, okay, Lacey might take this one, especially when they started doing the rematches. Like, there is no way in hell I see Natalya fucking winning this match. So
I don't either.
If I don't see her winning this match, what the fuck do I care about the match? I mean, that's what sells wrestling, is that you can't, you have your squash matches, but for a hype match that's going on one of your biggest shows of the year,
and that's the
you
thing,
need to have it where, there's believability that like Natalya could pose a threat and could take this title from Becky.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This is not a throwaway show. This is arguably your second biggest show of the year.
Yes.
And this match is just, and thank you people in the chat who are backing me up on this, because again, I'm more than willing to admit sometimes I don't care for people. I don't particularly care for Becky Lynch. It's not that I don't care for Natalya. It's just I'm with Silky. I don't see this being a competitive match, so I don't give a shit. Nikki and Alexa were drinking coffee during the pull apart, so there's that.
Yeah.
Can we do the right thing and call up Shayna Baszler right now? I can't wait for Shayna Baszler. You're not going to put her in this title match.
I want her up there because they seem to cock up anyone they bring from NXT.
They've done well with Ricochet.
Ish.
They've done well with Ricochet.
Ish.
Why would they not have Natty actually get one over on Becco after that promo last week? I agree. Is someone else going to be inserted into this match?
It could be. I mean, you almost have to, but who the fuck would you insert into it?
Well, the rumor is that Ronda might be coming back. Charlotte's always waiting in the wings. Maybe an Ember Moon, although Ember Moon is facing
Bailey.
Keep Shane away from the main roster until Ronda comes back, says Raven's Blood. That match may as well be a bra and panties match, says Bounty Hunter. Yeah, I think the rumor has it that Ronda, and I think I read something earlier today. I try to stay off wrestling Twitter now because it's so fucking negative all the time. I think I read something earlier that said Ronda was likely or somewhat likely, sources say that she was going to make an appearance either tonight or on next week's Raw. She could be somebody you put in there. I don't know. Ronda Rousey is so desperately needed right now. Holy shit, says Lit Mantis. And it's so crazy because as cringe as Ronda Rousey was in certain ways, she carried that division for a long time. I mean, she was the person that people were talking about.
Such a fucking hypocrite. Such a fucking hypocrite.
I just said she was cringe in a lot of ways, and I stand by that. I still don't think she's a great wrestler. I think she's a horrible promo. I think
she's definitely horrible.
The Ronda walk is absurd, but I'm willing to admit, and as I did the whole time, which is why I'm not a hypocrite, because I said all the time I'm in the minority on that one. People liked Ronda Rousey.
But I think that bringing her back it takes away the whole what Becky did. Or at least bringing her back and putting her in this match. You know what I mean? Because if you put her in this match, then you have to have Becky win. Or if Ronda wins, then it just undoes all what led up to WrestleMania and main event and Becky winning the match.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
But you also don't want to put her in just to take another loss from Becky. And then what's the point of putting her in if you're going to have Natty take the loss? So, I mean, I just don't think that putting her in, maybe at best I'd say having her in Natty's corner. Okay. But she was like full on heel. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think that it wouldn't work.
You're forgetting that fucked finish at Mania that they never resolved, says Lit Mantis. Yeah, well, there's a lot of shit that's not resolved. But yeah, you're exactly right.
What do you mean the fuck finish that wasn't resolved? I mean,
well, the fact that Ronda wasn't actually pinned for a 3 count.
Well, that is true.
They're
in
gonna
a
have to.
tech-
They're gonna have to. I don't know if
No,
that was
they
planned
don't.
or not.
No, I think it was a fuck up either on Ronda's part. I think that was honestly the finish. And I
Okay.
think Ronda fucked up.
It could be. Could be.
So either way, you can't make a thing out of it because, again, just like putting her in this match, if you bring it up, then you have just devalued the one thing that Becky Lynch has going as being the only person to pin Ronda Rousey.
And she didn't really pin her.
Yeah, so it's
Which
one
I
of those
think is how you
accident-
reopen that feud.
Well, no, I think that undoes everything.
See, I think
You
Ronda comes
have
back
her
and says,
come-
you didn't fucking pin me. All this bullshit. I've been sitting at home watching you talk all this shit about how you beat me, and you didn't even fucking beat me.
No, that undoes it. I think you just have her come back and get revenge on the fact that she lost the match. Because then you don't, I mean, if you take away the credibility and the legitimacy of her win, what the fuck are you fighting for? Because it's no longer a valid win. So why would you fight over something that's not even really valid? You know what I mean? It doesn't make it,
I think if it,
from a standpoint, I see where you're saying. From a base standpoint, yes, that would make sense. But from a getting everybody over standpoint, it makes more sense and it's better for everyone in the long run if you don't even acknowledge that the fuck up happened at WrestleMania, because then you've got to point out that the biggest fucking show of the year and
they fucked the main
arguably the
event.
biggest match,
Good night,
main
Star Killer.
event. Yeah, good night. Arguably the biggest main event since Hogan and fucking Andre, the finish was fucked. You don't want to do that. So
I don't know.
you
I don't know.
don't acknowledge the
I
fact.
know they don't want to do it. I just
Yeah, so that's why I'm just pointing out why I think that would be a bad idea if you're going to bring Ronda back to have it over. You didn't legitimately beat me. You bring her back saying, you know what? I want a rematch. It was not one-on-one. You know you could not beat me one-on-one.
Yeah.
Even in a triple threat, you got a lucky pinfall. You didn't tap me out, and you didn't lay me out to where you could pin me.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes in life it's better to be lucky than good. And on that night, Becky, you was fucking lucky.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. And listen, to all you guys, you know, going back to some of the comments here, what did you expect from Ronda? She had less than a year under her belt. I get that totally. It's just she just wasn't my bag. It wasn't for me.
No, I mean, I enjoyed Ronda. I mean, some of her matches. I think you were a little too hard on her, like expecting her to be almost like a Becky or Charlotte level of talent in ring, knowing the amount of time she had before she started.
I just think if you're going to push somebody to that point, but again, I get it from, that was my thing. If you're going to push her to the moon like that, I wanted to see more from her. But at the same time, it's a business, and that's your biggest fucking name. And you put your biggest fucking name on top. So that's the way it is. People asking about Sasha Banks as well. Again.
Now, that would be, I would be more
room,
interested in that and Sasha Banks returning and being added to the match than, but then, honestly, I would think they would add her to Bayley's match more before they'd add her to Becky's.
Wandering Wonderland. Hello from over yonder, wherever over yonder is. Thanks for being with us. Make sure to give the channel a follow while you're here. We appreciate that. Raw women's division sucks and is boring, says Mr. AEW. Becky's a boring champ, and Ronda was a boring champ. Okay. They had lightning in a bottle with that Ronda and Charlotte, and then Ronda and Becky. But yeah, it's been kind of, I don't know. Ronda puts asses every 18 inches, says Tex Ferguson. Ted says, but was her heart really in it? Her promos would constantly get thrown off when the crowd would chant. She did what she was supposed to do, push the women's division to the next level. Goodbye, I did my job. And that's, yeah. Yeah, so Sasha can cripple Becco like she crippled Paige, says Lip Mantis is on a roll tonight. Damn. I hope Ronda's time off. She's gotten more training to better her performance in the ring. And let's get to Hulk hogging time. Yeah. So the final segment was a toast. Ric Flair comes out, doesn't say anything except woo. They play his entire song. Everybody claps to Ric Flair. Everybody loves it. Hulk Hogan comes out, cuts himself a promo. blah, 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 blah. And the moment everybody's waiting for, Stone Cold comes out and basically just gives a rah-rah, we love you guys, we love WWE, so on and so forth. Again, didn't have a huge problem with it. It was nice to see him there. But one thing I wanted to bring up to you, Silky, and one thing I notice about Stone Cold that so many guys don't do, and I wonder, is this the way that these guys are taught nowadays? Stone Cold looks directly into the camera. Whether it's the hard cam or he finds the guy that's on the apron and he looks directly into that camera. And so few guys seem to do that nowadays.
Yeah.
Is that just me, or is that something that they're taught? Because the guy hasn't been in the ring forever. He even said it himself. He was kind of nervous, but he gets out there and somebody told him just go be Stone Cold, and he did it. And he looked directly into the camera and he addressed people, and it's just he has that connection. And there's,
I mean, it says he's a product of the environment he came up in. You know what I mean? Because in these days, you're just trying to remember your fucking promo. To try to remember what camera or different inflections to get your point across. You're just like, I want to get this promo, these words they gave me to say. With Stone Cold, obviously, he came up in a time where you didn't have you had bullet points. They said, go out there and talk, and I want you to mention this, get this, this, and this over.
Right.
And do your thing. And so that was a way. You'd find a camera and you go look into it when you're really trying to make a point. So it's like the fans, as a viewing audience, it's almost like he's talking directly to you.
Exactly. And so many of these guys don't do that.
But, I mean, they don't do that, I think, because of the fact that, they're giving a promo. They're giving like a sheet.
It's
like,
it's a performance.
Here, read this. I know you guys can't see it but anyway, the point is you're like, okay, I got to do this. Okay. And then you're more focused on getting the words that they gave you right to get the point they're trying to convey across, that you just don't want to forget your lines. So you're not going to think to look directly into the camera so it looks like I'm talking straight to you.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those things that I noticed, and Rebecca says Joe does it, and that's, there's occasionally you see it. But man, it's another thing. Cornette laments this now that I think about it, when he talks about guys giving interviews backstage and they never look into the camera. They never look into the camera and address the audience and things like that. It's just one of those things. Yeah, Stone Cold does still look good. He's still still in great shape. He's got the new show coming up.
Yes.
So that should be a lot of fun as well. I think the big takeaway is that Stone Cold's prowess and skills as an entertainer are unmatched. Truly a once-in-a-lifetime talent who has such a knack for pulling a crowd into his character. The Mantis, that's better than I could have said it. I think you're exactly right. Nothing with KO tonight, Ted. Nothing with the McMahon family, which I found to be somewhat surprising, but it was...
No, The Rock did not show up.
And The Rock did not show up, unfortunately. But so it goes. All right, folks. It's about that time for us to say goodnight. However, want to know why they do not look into the camera? It's a theory of mine, says Wandering.
Saint Ho.
Thank you, Saint Ho. And Charlie Caruso, we didn't mention, by the way, was backstage when The Godfather showed up.
Yeah.
And pretty much since she was the only one there,
she was
I would assume that Charlie Caruso hopped on the Ho train. Did she not?
I would assume so. And you hear her clowning like her, did you teach her how to dance? They're like, no, they were just clowning her dance. Even though it was pretty bad. She treated the beat like it's Where's Waldo, and she couldn't find that motherfucker.
Okay, well, that's all right.
But she's hot enough to get away with that. She don't have to dance.
I totally agree. All right, folks, we are back with you on Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. So we hope you guys will join us then. And as I mentioned last Thursday on Wrestle Trivia will go to every other week, so we're off this week, and we'll be back with you next Thursday for Wrestle Trivia. Bad bitch alert, Charlie Caruso, says Raven's Blood.
Yeah, I mean, she is bad, though.
She is bad. Rebecca Smith wants to hop on everybody wants on the Charlie Caruso Ho train. Thank you to all of you guys for being with us. We had a great crowd here tonight. It was great seeing everybody here. Once again, if you're new to the show, make sure to give the channel a follow. Turn on those notifications. If you've been here before, keep those bits coming. Shout out to all you guys dropping bits here tonight. Star Killer dropping bits all over the place. Get the tables. Juanito for his resub. Lit Mantis, Jeffrey Cross, and Mac Diesel. Appreciate you guys dropping the bits as well. And thanks to all you guys for being here, man. We appreciate it. Anything else to get out there, Silky, before we say goodnight?
No, that's it.
That's it. For the Benchmark, Silky Baines.
Yo.
Chris Speez, we will see you back here Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central. That's 10 o'clock on the East Coast, right here on the Speez and the Benchmark Show. Good night, everybody.